Syrian opposition groups, the SNC and some HNC members are holding talks in Istanbul to discuss their role in the Syrian peace process. Ediz Tiyansan has been at the meeting. Let's speak to him live now from Istanbul. Ediz, what has been said so far?
Well, Asha, here in this conference center at one of the major hotels in Istanbul, SNC, the Syrian National Coalition, the main opposition group, is meeting for what they call is their regular monthly or sometimes bi-monthly general summit. And also present here is the HNC, that is the Higher Negotiations Committee, the group that represented this main opposition group at the peace talks in Geneva. There are over 100 delegates representing more than 30 factions, and the meeting is underway for the past 1 hour or so, and it will actually continue for the next 3 days. So down the line we are expecting a press conference at some point to hear where they exactly stand in terms of the diplomatic process in Geneva. But just a while ago, we were able to get an exclusive interview from Salim Al-Muslat, who represented HNC as the spokesperson in Geneva, and this is what he had to say.
Well, it's a preparation for the whole, political process. But the decision to go back to Geneva depends on the changes on the ground there. There are security resolution 2254. We did not see an implementation to that resolution. We have to see something on the ground in the issue of the detainees, the issue of the besieged areas, and also the massacres and the airstrikes that this regime is committing against civilians. You know, there are more than 2,000 violations since the truce took place. It's about almost 60 days now. But until now, we don't see really a serious partner that want to negotiate for political change in Syria. We hope to see something on the ground. We hope to see pressure from our friends on the regime. And I believe the regime only listens to Russia, so the efforts of our friends should be concentrated to convince Putin to put pressure on al-Assad to, stop killing civilians in Syria.
Well, clearly a few important points to take home. Well, clearly, we have a few takeaway points there. He drew a very bleak picture of the situation on the ground. He referred to the fact that the resolution is not fulfilled by the Security Council resolution, rather, is not fulfilled by the Syrian regime. And also we've seen increased besieged areas and more violations in terms of the ceasefire. He said that they don't see a serious partner to negotiate with, but that doesn't necessarily rule out going back to Geneva. An important point he made there was the fact that even though it is going to be their decision at the end of the day, this decision depends on the situation on the ground, and he was also referring to the fact that the situation on the ground can be effectively changed by help from other international actors, mainly Russia. So a strong message there to also international community, the pressure from which can directly affect the prospects for these diplomatic talks.
Okay, Ediz in Istanbul, thank you.